Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I have something to unbox. Yes, I've done it. I've cracked the code of YouTube. I finally figured out what people want to see, and it is unboxings. Just kidding. I started to open up this this box from Artify, and it looked like it was kind of pretty on the inside. So I'm like, I'm gonna stop, and then I'll do it with a camera, so you guys can have the vicarious joy of opening the box too. Maybe it's something that you've been interested in, maybe not. Artify contacted me a couple of weeks ago and asked if I would review their new enhanced markers. So I said, sure. I don't know how these differ from the old markers, but we're going to open them up and take a look. So this was inside of a larger Amazon box. And in here, it looks like a present, doesn't it? There we go. Oh, look at that. It was all wrapped. And I believe that you can choose some of these options that have the gift wrapping if you want to get something like this as a gift and put it under the tree and not have to do anything else to it. That certainly would be a time saver, and it's, you know, it looks really pretty too. But I'm going to open it so you can see what's inside, because I am actually pretty curious about that. And the ribbon's kind of nice too. You could actually, if you wanted to, you could use the ribbon on a card or to rewrap a present. You could even use the back side if you don't want to have the branding on it. If you have a wrinkle in your ribbon, you can take a hair straightener and very easily get those crinkles out. So anytime you get something with a ribbon on it and you want to reuse the ribbon, just get the hair straightener out. It works great, or you could use an iron, obviously. All right, so we'll take off the butcher paper, which actually they have wrapped this in a way so it only uses like a little thank you sticker. It's got this little thank you sticker on the side, so you definitely could reuse the butcher paper. If not to rewrap something, you can use it to you could use it as like protection on your table, like if you're going to do some gel printing or some paper. I think it's fun to actually like stamp on papers like this, or even like use as my workspace, and then it'll get all these kind of inks and paints on it, and then it can be used as wrapping paper, which is kind of nice. So I will definitely reuse that, because look at that, 2 easy to remove stickers, so you can reuse the paper. Yeah, use a heat tool if you don't want to tear the paper at all. But I like stuff that I can reuse. So this packaging is different. So I reviewed the Artify set of 108 and set of 24, I believe it was, skin tone markers. So the set of 24 was skin tone, the 108 was assorted. And those markers I actually keep upstairs on my fun art desk. And if you were following my Inktober work, you saw those markers get used a lot during Inktober. They're a brush tip, chisel tip combination, and they're really a steal because they're not very expensive. So these markers are the 80 enhanced color set, and I really don't know anything about this. They are called Expert Series. I was pretty impressed with the other ones, so I'm looking forward to seeing what is here. I don't want to spill all these markers out, so hopefully, let me be careful opening them. Oh, okay. So it's got a little magnetic clasp, and oh, it's got a divided stand here, or divided case, and it looks like you'll be able to use that as a stand. It says this is 80 enhanced color set, one of Artify's Expert Series. We have founded pastel colors, tropical colors, and boho colors in 3 different color collections. Each set contains 80 markers consisting of 79 selected colors and a blender. At the time, 48 basic color sets, 80 enhanced color sets, and 120 ultra color sets were finally released after months of repeated screening and proofreading. So far, the total number of colors selected for the entire new series has reached 226 colors. Artify not only wants to provide with more professional coloring experience, but also focuses daily practice with introspective thinking. Well, that's a mouthful. Okay, so usually these will fold. Okay, oh, it folds back like this. I just don't want to. I don't want to break it. I think it's supposed to fold. Is there a picture somewhere of this thing in action? I think it's got to fold. Oh, I bet it. I don't know how this goes. Does it go? It's supposed to fold back in an incline, I think. Where does it go? Guys, it seems like you would have it so it folded so the pattern was out, but that doesn't work. So I think it's got a score on it, so I think it's got to go, that's going to make it fall though. It's got to fold back, I think, like that. Oh, okay, here we go. I think that's how it goes. I don't feel the magnetic click into place, so, oh, I either broke it or that's how it's supposed to go. I think that's how it's supposed to go. Oh, guys. Okay, let's see. I cracked the, okay, I don't think I did that right because I cracked the paper there. But it did stand up well. So, I don't know. I don't think that's what you're supposed to do. I'm sorry, Artify. I just wrecked your packaging. But that does actually hold it really nice. And if you put your markers in order, they will stay in order, which is pretty cool. Now I'm looking at the numbering system here to see if anything rings a bell. These look like they're the same numbering system as their brush markers, because if I'm looking here, well, obviously this is the warm grays, but I seem to recall like colors in the Y600s and the G400s. We got Y600, I know I have that in the brush marker. So it looks like they're using that same color naming system. I'd have to get the other markers out. They're upstairs on my desk. I'll have to bring this up and double check. But it looks like they're probably the same, using the same color numbering system. Let's take a look at these markers. I'm going to have to put some washi tape on that. I feel bad. You know what I'll probably do, actually? Make a swatch and stick it right there so that I can see the marker, so I can see what they look like. Well, let's just we'll look at this stuff in a minute. Artify art markers, born for drawing. They're a matte white finish. They feel pretty good. They're a little bit tapered, so a little bit thicker on, I would assume, the chisel end and thinner at the fine point. And on the back side, you've got a sticker that has the color, letter, and number. Tulip Pink R416. Oh, the caps come off pretty good. Oh, this nib looks a little different. I'm smelling it. You can definitely smell it when you put it right up to your nose. I'm not smelling it from here. I can start smelling it when it's about 3 inches from my nose, but then again, I think I have a pretty good sense of smell, but I don't think, also I'm not bothered by alcohol marker smells, so so there's that. I feel like I should have a scrap piece of paper, because I have a feeling that these papers might be important. So let's look at these papers. If there's anything that I can color on, we'll see. DIY color stickers. Oh, you know what these are for? These are so you can color swatch on a label and stick it to your marker. Oh, that's nice. I've done that. I'll show you. I've done that with my my pro markers, and my Prismacolor markers. What I did was I colored on a label and then I punched it out with a round sticker and I stick it on the end, because there used to be just like a little, I might have, oh, like this right here. So like this is how they come, and the colors are they never match. So I did that with some Avery label sheets, and it works so great. And every few years, because these are my open stock markers I have on the rack behind me, every few years what I do is I recolor it, because they will fade if you have them in a lot of light. Not so bad down here in my basement, but like upstairs, my marker chart that I made, that I have on a clipboard hung on the wall next to my desk, it fades. I have to color it every few months if I want to keep the colors true. But then you just get used to the markers and you don't really need to. But that's a fantastic idea. And you go on the side with those stickers, so then you don't have to cover up the color chips. So that's cool. Okay, let's do that. Want to do that? Let's do that. Okay. So let's see. We've got this tulip pink color. So this is a chisel tip. The chisel tip, well, you know what? There's some space up here. Look at the fine point you can get with that chisel tip. I'll just give it a couple swipes, and I'll give it more on one end. I'll let that dry. All right, let's look at the bullet tip. Nice. I think you can get a finer line with the chisel tip, actually. That chisel tip is a little bit different of a shape than what you get. So let's see, maybe I'll put that down here on this end so that it's closer to the fine nib. Oh, that doesn't look very good. Should I do it on the side? I don't want to cover up. I'll just go around the end like that. Or I could have put it on the opposite cap. That's kind of nice. And then you can double check with the end. Now that looks pinker. This looks redder, but we gotta let it dry because sometimes pinks and reds and purples can shift a little bit from wet to dry. Now let's look at, well, you know what? Let me grab a Copic marker just so we can see the difference here on the chisel nibs. So the Copic chisel nib is, let's zoom in. Whoops, I'm sorry. The Copic chisel nib is smaller, and when I turn it to the side, it's wider at the tip than that is. This is a much steeper angle. I think that's kind of neat because then you can get quite a few different, probably can with a Copic. You can, but it's a little bit easier with that. Of course, you have the brush tip on this this sketch as well. But I like to use a chisel tip, so I'm glad that I can kind of go on the tip of that and get a fine tip, and I can just kind of rotate my marker around as I color, so I don't have to go back to the fine tip. That's kind of neat. It is definitely a different shape. I hope that it keeps its crisp edge. That's cool. All right, so we've got a couple sheets of color stickers that we can use, and I reckon if we mess up, you could probably save some of the spaces in between the labels to use. Or if you wanted to make a swipe for each end, you could probably use the space that's underneath the label for that. That's kind of cool. All right, so we got 2 sheets of the color labels. We have, what else is here? We've got a swatch chart, and the swatch chart is, it is numbered. So you've got these blank ones too. So I don't know if this is if you're expanding your colors. I don't think they offer open stock. It seems like everything is coming out in different sets, like pastel, tropical, earth tones. And of course they have the brush tips, which I like the brush tips a lot. The brush tips are cheaper actually than these. I'm gonna zoom back out again. The brush tips, this set, ooh, let me see. I might even actually have that open from doing a little research earlier before I open this. This, oh no, I don't have it open. The brush tips are less expensive. You can get a box set like this with the brush tips for about $50 or $60, I think. And I'm thinking this one is more than that. And then if you get it in the plastic case, which I actually really like the plastic case, it is, I think it's like $10 more. So I guess if you had some of the brush tip ones, you could write them down. You can swatch them over here, or you could just swatch both places. I don't know. You do whatever you want to do, I guess. It's your life. And then what else do we have? Then we have a swatch card colored in from the company, so you can get an idea of what we have for colors. We've got all the greens together. We have all the blues together. They are not in the rack in this order. So I like how they're laid out in this chart, though. I wonder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you could lay them out in the rack in this order. That would kind of make sense. Then you could actually, well, it's not going to fit in that spot, but you could put it there. Oh, and you've got a little, hey, if I had opened this first, then I would know what I'm talking about, because it tells you how to do your swatch chart and tear off the sticker, and you could paste it vertically or horizontally on your marker. You could put it on the cap, or you could put it on the body. You've got a little demo here on how to color a watermelon. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's just a little extra that you usually don't see with these different companies. So that's kind of cool. All right. Well, you know what? I actually stamped out a few things because I thought it might be fun to do a little demo, especially because I have people ask me about using the chisel nib, because I usually say in my videos, if you don't have brush markers, use a chisel nib. So why don't we do, I have an idea of doing some like retro Christmas cards where I have like pastel colored deer, kind of like, you know, the old, well, it's not like the deer were pastel in the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation, stop motion animation thing, but all of the other stuff was like those mints and pale blues and pinks and stuff. So I was thinking I wanted to do something like that. So why don't we try coloring some of these deer with those pastel tones. So purple's always a hard one to get to blend. So let's try these R910 are you? R910. Right here. R710. Looks like a medium. And then R703 is a darker. Let's try those three colors and see how they blend. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We'll also see how good our swatches are here. And we'll color this guy. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit so you can see that. Hopefully my battery doesn't go on me. So when I'm not sure, or I think a color might be difficult to blend, I will start off with the lightest color, and I'll just give everything a coat of the lighter color. And let's give this chisel tip a whirl and see how it does. Look at that, I'm able to get in with the details with that. That's nice. Now I will use my scanning cut to cut these out. So I'm going to try to keep pretty close to the lines, as in keep within the lines so my scanning cut can recognize everything. So now I've got a little bit wider here. Oh yeah, this feels really ergonomic. You know, sometimes, and I think it might have been a complaint, but I think it was was it the Artify? One of the markers that I had used, their chisel nibs, every once in a while you get a chisel nib that was kind of wonky and you had to pull it out and put it back in again. And I can't remember if it was theirs or if it was another one. It was no big deal to fix it, but you know, this, I feel like it's pretty easy to switch from going to the tip for detail and going from the side. These stamps, by the way, are from Pink Persimmon, but that company went out of business quite a long time ago. I have seen similar cute retro deer, so I'm sure you can find something. So then I actually like to go to the darker color, which would be R703. So I'm going to go in and get my shadow. Oh, this is really pink, and that one was really more blue. So I don't know if these colors are going to go. But I know usually the tummies on animals are lighter, but I'm gonna roll with it and see how we do. Also, I want the hooves to be darker. Maybe a little shadow under there. And on the neck, alright, let's go to this. It's pretty easy to cap and uncap them. I don't feel like I'm going to risk damaging the nib, which is nice because sometimes when you're, if you're trying to color quickly and you're trying to replace your nibs, you can accidentally hurt your nib when you go to put the cap back on if you're not careful. Like I noticed, like with the fine tip of the Pro Marker, you have to be careful. All right, I'm going to follow up with my lighter color and blend, and we'll see. I think this will take a little bit of time to get used to, but I like that I can color fast. Now, that said, I could do all that with one brush tip too, and I think it would probably be a little bit more intuitive, especially if the brush marker happens to be cheaper. But hey, that's blending pretty well. Can't complain, that actually. I think that's blending pretty well. We'll have to wait to see how it dries. I think I want some of that medium color, which was 710. Well, let's get out the fine tip. Let's see out the fine tip if I just want to put a little bit of slightly darker there. Yeah, the fine tip feels good. All right, let's try another color combo. Those worked really nice together. I'm actually going to keep those together because I might do a bunch of that color just to, so I can make a bunch of cards and I can just keep the same color schemes. Let's do that one. Let's do green. So let's look at our chart here. Keep in mind, I did not color this chart, so I'm just going by what it looks like. We could try these three that are already put together and see how good that matches. 402. That is this one, G001, and G303. There's G303. I'm just looking for G001 right here. Ooh, this one, the cap looks kind of minty, and the other two look more yellowy. So we'll see. We'll see what. That's why it's good to swatch on your own. So we'll start with the lightest color again. We'll do this one here. So just so we have a different pose. I might do all this purple. I probably will get bored. But Whoops. I would say this one definitely has yellow undertones. Yeah, I would say the cap is not an exact match. The cap is a little bit cooler. I do like these chisel nibs though. Okay, just giving everything a good base coat. Actually, I probably don't even need to with the green because greens usually blend pretty well. Purples and reds are a little trickier. Blues are a little trickier. But greens, yellows, browns, those all do really well. Aren't these cute? Oh my gosh. I thought I would do a flower, but then I was like, I want to, if I want to color a bunch of things, I want to do it with markers, or I want to do a theme that I know I will use all the things that I've colored. This one is almost like, oh, it's very vibrant. It almost looks kind of like, not quite an acid green, but it's definitely kind of like a popsicle-y bluish green color. I don't know, it just looks like something you'd see in a slush puppy machine. Alright, let's go with our medium tone and see how that does. The one that looks kind of blue, well, it's blending well. It's actually kind of hard to see what the color of it really is where I'm going over other colors. But that's kind of the nice thing about markers, is because they're transparent, you can layer them up and you will get them mixing together, and then the colors will go together a lot better. You know, you'll get that little bit of you know, the colors kind of shining through the other colors, so they work together and look a little more cohesive. I'll bring that shadow up just a little bit. Okay, then we're going to go back to that first one and just kind of re-wet the edges and let stuff blend together. Color over the previous colors, at least at the edge, if not completely over it. And that will help you blend. I think the blue in that darker color doesn't want to move quite so well, but I think the colors are close enough that it doesn't really matter. I'm not having a problem with that. Let's let that dry, and let's do a pink combination because that's what I'm thinking I want to do. And I'll do the little line down deer in pink. I think 601, 502, and 505 might work pretty well together. So let's see, 502, 505, and 601. We will see. This time, let's do a different blending technique. Let's do one where we start dark and go light. So 505 is the darkest. Oh, wait a minute. I need 505. Yeah, 502. Okay, 601. 505 is the darkest, and 502, then 601. All right, so let's go in. Woo, that looks bright. That doesn't look that dark. Well, I don't know if it's going to be dark enough. Maybe. That's pretty bright. So hopefully, oh, this is a sweet one. I want to put bows on them. I want to put bows on her. Doesn't she look like she needs a bow? Like Clarice. Is that in camera? Yeah, it's in frame. Okay. This would be cute with a little bit of glitter glue or Wink of Stella pen or something on top. All right, we'll go to our medium, which is 502. And I'm going to color over what I already put there. So it can blend out. And then we'll go with our lightest color, our 601. Yeah, it's something I noticed with the Artify markers. It seems like the higher the number, the lighter the shade. And I believe the ink and nibs on their markers are, well, you know, I should look at the box, but I believe the nibs, actually, never mind, I'm not going to say that because I also do a lot of marker research, and I was looking at another brand today that I was preparing a review for, so I might have the complete wrong information. Oh, that blended pretty well with that technique. I feel like I need to go back with this a little bit. Like I'm going to get a little line there, but well, just on my first out of the box, not even swatching these guys, examples, I'm pretty happy with the blends that I've got there. Just on some white cardstock, hey, I think that these are going to be good. Now, of course, this isn't a full review. This is just me trying them out, but so far so good. Matte white, I think, looks pretty classy. Of course, it'll probably get inky and gross if you're not careful. But I mean, I don't see any like ink leakage issues. Let's go with a darker color. Reds are always, if there's going to be a messy color, it's going to be a red. I don't see any issues. I don't find the odor to be bad. But then again, don't take my word for it because the smell of alcohol markers do not bother me. I rarely register it. So I'm going to play with these some more and use them in some artwork, and then I'll let you know what I think when I've done that. So it'll probably be a couple of weeks, but I thought that would be a fun little unboxing to share with you. And I think it's got some unique stuff going for it, from the stickers that you can put on your markers to the swatch chart that you can color in yourself. I think those are really thoughtful things. I like how the marker stand will keep your markers in the order you choose to put them in. And I still am not sure I set this up right, and I feel kind of bad about that because, you know, I don't want you to crack your marker case. I don't know what else I could have done though. I know I'm gonna have to look at it. I'm gonna have to look it up on Amazon and see how they have theirs set up. But I don't think this is right just because I cracked the paper there. But once I do the final review, I will have that information for you, hopefully. So thank you so much for watching, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these unboxings. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.